Now there's one principle that changed the entire trajectory of my life. And that principle is begin with the end in mind. Now, applying this to the real estate wholesaling, real estate investing industry, what we do is we start at the end. What do I mean by this? We follow the money, right? So paying attention to market cycles and seeing when big institutional buyers and when big influxes of money start pumping into these different markets, we target those markets based on the amount of volume, based on the amount of cash sales in any given market across the United States, where we can reverse engineer that directly into our marketing. Now, if you check out here, we have a map of the counties broken down for the city of Atlanta, Georgia. And if you look on all these different zip codes, I've had our virtual assistants color code it, and then we've taken them through the list source process where they've actually broken down each zip code based on the amount of cash transactions for any given month. Now, why is this important? This is important because as we dial down for every single county within the city of Atlanta, we can see for Fulton County, out of the 695 cash transactions that have taken place over the past 6 months, that 75 of those transactions have taken place inside of 30349. 75, right? That's the top cash buyer zip code for Fulton County. What does that tell us? That tells us that more cash, more liquidity is being dispersed, is being executed into this zip code if we're targeting Fulton County than all these other zip codes across the board, right? So what we do as smart marketers, as we're really dialing in our systems and breaking in our marketing, is we pay attention to where the money's being dispersed, right? So from a macro level, we have these big hedge fund relationships that whenever we're in process, they give us updated lists, updated buy boxes, where we actually have the zip codes and the most competitive areas that each institutional buyer is buying, right? But for a newbie investor or somebody that's really wanting to get plugged in and have some data-based insight, you can go on ListSource, which I'll go ahead and populate a video that'll pop in the screen walking you through step-by-step process on how you can go in ListSource, you can go to that specific city and break down the top cash buyer zip codes for any city across the United States, right? It's important to have those things in mind because as you're putting together your data, whether you're cold calling, whether you're marketing through SMS messages, or even whether you're targeting your pay-per-click advertising, you can have that insight in the back end that's spoken to you through your data, right? Through the cash transactions for each zip code within the greater city of Atlanta. Now, as you know, great businesses are data-driven. There's no way around it. And at the end of the day, they say that data is king, right? So the better that you can get at implementing data into your business and the more insight that you have before you even start marketing, knowing exactly where you want to start, we built that principle off of beginning with the end in mind, right? Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that book changed everything, right? So applying this 4 years ago, I was in the process of building a DJ company. Hey, it's a skill that I had from my past. I was a young entrepreneur coming up in the game, and I thought, hey, if I could start building a DJ company, get enough events booked out where I can have different DJs lined up underneath me, and we'd be one of the biggest entertainment companies in Colombia. I read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and this simple principle, begin with the end in mind, I started asking myself, do I really want to be a 60, 70-year-old DJ up there trying to hype up the crowd? I'm gonna be wanting to hang out with my family and my grandkids at that point, right? But that simple principle, when I put it into play, changed the entire trajectory of my journey, right? Shortly thereafter is when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that was my break, right? That was my first step and my first introduction into the world of real estate investing. So again, these timeless principles, these fundamental truths in our life are there to help guide us, to lead us to foundational places that we can start to build and stack our business and our culture around, right? So make sure that you're really tuning into that still small inner voice, that you can take the steps, that you can do the groundwork, get your reading in and learn how to apply those. And by applying, taking those principles and figuring out how to implement them and place them in your life. Hope you guys got something out of this. Again, dial in, guys, every single day. You should be focusing on getting 1% better than you were yesterday. So by breaking that down and doing small incremental tweaks in your marketing, and instead of just going out there like a wild banshee, actually using that data and applying it inside of your business, you're gonna be 10 times more effective than somebody that's not dialed in and is not really taking time to find those fundamental truths. So get out there, guys, stay consistent, and I will see you on the other side.